So you're looking at the BOSS BV9364B car stereo. That 6.2-inch touchscreen DVD player with Bluetooth and a backup camera for around $130. It promises to be your all-in-one entertainment hub on wheels. But before you click that buy button, you need to hear what they don't tell you in the shiny Amazon listing. I installed this unit, lived with it, and I'm here to give you the brutally honest problems you need to know. For the best price, click the link in the description. Let's start with the hook, the promise. You see that 4.1-star rating and think, hey, that's pretty solid. You see Bluetooth for calls and music, a DVD player, a touchscreen, a rearview camera, USB ports. It looks like a steal. Therefore, you imagine a seamless, modern upgrade for your car. But here's what surprised me immediately. The gap between that promise and the reality is wider than a two-lane highway. The first problem hits you before you even get it out of the box. The installation instructions. Let's just call them a creative writing exercise. They're vague, poorly translated, and assume you're already a certified car audio technician. If you're a DIY person, you're in for a puzzle. And if you pay for professional installation, that $130 price tag suddenly isn't the whole story, is it? That's your first hidden cost. Okay, so you get it installed. The screen lights up. Victory, the interface looks dated. We're talking early 2000s PDA vibes, but you tap on Bluetooth to connect your phone. This should be simple, right? Therefore, you go into the menu, it connects, sometimes. Here's the contrarian snapback. This unit has a commitment problem with your smartphone. It might connect today and then completely forget your device tomorrow, forcing you to go through the pairing process all over again. It's like a needy partner that requires constant reassurance. And when you do get a call, that external microphone they brag about. In my testing, callers said I sounded like I was talking from the bottom of a well during a windstorm. Hands-free is only useful if people can actually hear you. So much for no distractions. You'll be distracted trying to shout into the void. Let's talk about the core feature, the touchscreen. You're thinking responsive, smooth, like your phone. But this isn't your phone. It's more like your grandma's old touchscreen that requires a firm, deliberate press. In a moving car, that's not just annoying, it's a safety issue. You're poking at it like you're trying to summon a genie. Therefore, you'll start using the included wireless remote more, which is a joke in itself because now you're fumbling for a tiny remote while driving. The irony of a touchscreen that makes you use a remote is funnier than most sitcoms. That's joke number one for you. Now, media playback. It plays DVDs. That's cool if it's 2005. In 2024, you'll likely use Bluetooth or USB. But here's another major problem. The audio quality from those digital sources. BOSS boasts 80 watts max power per channel. Keyword, max. The actual RMS power, the real continuous power, is much, much lower. If you're using your car's factory speakers, you might get by. But if you have any decent aftermarket speakers, this head unit will starve them. The sound is thin, lacks depth, and distorts at higher volumes. The built-in equalizer. It's like putting a fancy spoiler on a car with a tiny engine. It looks like you can tweak things, but you can't create power that isn't there. The top review on Amazon mentions this distortion, and they're absolutely right. What about that included backup camera? It's a nice bonus, but the video quality is what I'd call potato vision. It's low resolution, grainy, and in low light. It's basically an abstract art display. You can see shapes, maybe. Is that a trash can or a small child? It's a guessing game. It gets the job done in a bright parking lot, but don't expect a crisp, clear image. For safety, it's barely adequate. Therefore, you might end up buying a better camera anyway, which is another hidden cost on top of your bargain stereo. Let's dive into the USB and SD card functions. You load up a drive with your music, plug it in, and it takes a solid minute to read the files. Scrolling through a large library is a lesson in patience. The system can freeze or become unresponsive. It feels like the processor inside is running on hamster wheel power. And the Bluetooth audio streaming for Spotify. There's a noticeable lag between what you press on your phone and what happens on the stereo. It's not deal-breaking, but it's another layer of friction. Using this unit is full of little frustrations that add up to one big headache. Here's a critical point: the steering wheel control interface. The product description says it's compatible, but the module is sold separately. What they don't stress is that getting your steering wheel buttons to work can be a nightmare of wiring and programming. It's not plug-and-play. You might buy the recommended Metra ASWC1, spend an hour configuring it, and still have buttons that do the wrong thing. It's enough to make you want to steer with your knees. That's joke number 2. Now, the 3-year platinum warranty sounds great, but there's a catch. It's only valid if you buy through Amazon.com, and it's an online dealer warranty. You have to register it and likely deal with mailing the unit in for repairs. Given the build quality feels a bit plasticky and lightweight, that warranty might be something you end up needing. The touchscreen isn't the most rugged, and the buttons feel cheap. This isn't a unit built for a decade of use. So after all these problems, who is this for? It's for the person with a very tight budget, an old car with a broken stereo, and simple needs. If you just need basic radio, occasional Bluetooth that you're willing to fight with, and a blurry backup camera is better than nothing, it functions. But for anyone wanting reliable technology, good sound quality, or a smooth user experience, this is a hard pass. You're buying a list of features, not a quality execution of those features. Therefore, what's the resolution? What should you buy instead? For a similar price range, look at brands like Pioneer or Kenwood for their most basic single-DIN units with Bluetooth. You'll often get more reliable software, better sound processing, and stronger brand support. You might sacrifice the DVD player and touchscreen, but you'll gain reliability. If you must have a touchscreen, save up a little more. The jump in quality to an entry-level Pioneer or Alpine touchscreen is massive. Think of it this way. Buying the BV9364B is like hiring a clown for a board meeting. They have many skills juggling balloon animals, but none of them are the one you actually need. That's joke 3. In conclusion, the BOSS BV9364B is a classic case of you get what you pay for. The problems start with installation, continue through daily use with buggy Bluetooth and a sluggish touchscreen, and are underscored by mediocre audio and video quality. It looks great on paper, but in practice, it's a frustration device. My final verdict: don't buy the BOSS BV9364B if you value your sanity and time. Invest in a more reputable brand for a headache-free upgrade. And for those better alternatives at the best price, click the link in the description below. I've got you covered. Remember, a cheap stereo that doesn't work well is more expensive than a good stereo that does. That's not a joke, that's just math. Okay, that was joke 4. Thanks for watching.